Hi, and welcome to Life Coaching by Mirella, where I share life coaching tips and strategies for everyday living. Today is video 2 of a series that I'm calling You Can Solve Your Problems, Solutions That Work. If you missed the first one, make sure that you check it out. This video series is all about problem solving, and the topic is just too big to get everything in one video. So I decided to break it up into several, and that way I can share more strategies with you. I want to start off with an illustration. It involves my daughter, who's a new driver, newly licensed, and she's the one that drives us to school every morning. So every day on the way to school, there's a pothole. Every day on the way to school, we're passing over said pothole. So initially, I'm not saying much, but I'm noticing that instead of avoiding the pothole, which we know is there, we know it's coming because we pass it every day, what I'm noticing is that we're bracing, slowing down, and actually going over it. Why are we doing the same thing over and over? It's unnecessary wear and tear on the car. So are you tracking with me? In life, we have these potholes as well. We have bumps in the road, we have setbacks, some rough patches, and how we handle them is going to make all the difference. Sometimes we get stuck in these old patterns of ways of thinking and ways of doing and ways of saying things. Well, if you want to have a life that you say that you want to have, maybe we can improve in this area. Today's strategy is all about changing it, and that's why it's called Change It. And you'll know immediately when you can start using this strategy. I want you to think of a situation that is slowly rising. You start to feel that slow simmer that happens. Your breathing changes, maybe there's some tension in your body and your heart starts racing. And that's where I want you to say, nope, that is not the road I'm going to go down. This is what I want you to do. Focus on these 3 things and I want you to change it. You're going to change the way you think about a situation. You're going to change what you say to yourself in a situation. And you're going to change what you do in a situation. Let's go back to our thoughts. Because guys, some of us are really just out of control with our thoughts. We let them run amok. There's so much going on in there. We're so busy stirring in all of our thoughts that our thoughts even have thoughts. We got to learn to stop that. Get into the habit of guarding your thoughts and guiding your thoughts. We got to get one step ahead. So why is this so important? Because our thoughts are what dictate what we do and what we say. They're really the guiding force of what's to come. It all starts with our thinking. So if you are in a negative space and you're re-looping in your mind how much you dislike somebody and what they said and what they do and how things aren't fair, well, the next time you come across that somebody, how difficult is it going to be to actually get along with them? You can't get the warm and fuzzies around somebody if the only thing you're doing is thinking negatively when you're not around them. There's something about our brain that it just stops seeing what's good. We tend to overlook the good and we focus on the bad. Where I'm here to tell you that right relationships focus on what's right. What if we made it a habit to start thinking right thoughts about somebody? How much easier do you think it would be to actually get along with them when you see them next? It's just something to think about. I know it's a challenge, but if we can focus more on a person's value and worth instead of the faults, you're already priming yourself and your mind, setting yourself up for that next interaction. So that's number 1. The second thing you're going to change is what you say to yourself. About yourself, about the other person, or about the situation. So if you are in the headspace where you keep telling yourself, I don't know what I'm going to do, well, then that's not going to help you figure out what you're supposed to do. It's okay not to know what to do. I don't know is a beautiful place to start because it shows that you are in a place where you're willing to learn and you're willing to figure it out. So instead of being caught in an I don't know, so I'm not going to do anything, maybe change that thinking to I don't know, but I'm going to figure it out. There's also this type of language that we tend to use, and it looks something like, well, this is impossible. And they always, or they never, or I always, I never. This is all or nothing language that is not really helpful. What you're doing is you're cornering yourself into a place of non-productivity. That's not good. Do you know that something only needs to happen twice to you for us to generalize a statement? It's true. Something can happen to you yesterday or a week ago, and it happens again today, and then we're quick to say, well, that always happens to me. Well, it's not true. Maybe what you need to start saying to yourself is, I don't like the situation that I'm in, this pothole that has presented itself to me, but you know, this might be the start of something new. There might be something here for me to learn. Maybe it's an opportunity for growth and to make progress. These are the statements that you want to switch. Change from whatever it is that you're used to saying to yourself, and I want you to change what you're going to say to yourself in this moment. That's number 2. Number 3 is you're going to change what you do. Instead of focusing on what you can't do, you're going to focus on what you can do. I want you to shift your attention to what you do have control over. And believe it or not, you have control over a lot of things. And isn't that ultimately what we wish we had? More control over our situation, our circumstances, people in our lives, what they say, what they do. We tend to think that if we had more control, if people were more like us, that would solve our problems. I'm not sure if that's true. I mean, maybe sometimes. I want you to think of the things that you do have full control over right now in your life. How are you doing in these areas? For example, with your body. You have full control over what you eat and what you don't eat, what you stay away from, right? How are you managing with that? You have full control over your thoughts and what comes out of your mouth, what it is that you say. Well, how well are you doing in those areas? Are you able to fully control your thoughts and what it is you say? And it's not just with your body. Let's think about your car. Let's think about your home. Let's think about your finances. These are things that we typically have full control over. Maybe not all of those things, depending on your situation, but we do. And if we're honest, we're not doing so good. I know my car's not as tidy as I wish it would. Do I have full control over it? I kind of do. The irony is that we are too preoccupied with the things that we don't have control over, that we're missing the things that we do have control over, and therefore we're not appreciating what we can be doing. Is this resonating with you? Maybe there's 3 people that are going, oh yeah, you're onto something there. I've said it so many times, like whether or not we like it, problems are just gonna exist. They're a part of life. So if you've fallen into patterns and habits that just aren't serving you, that aren't helping you in the area of stress and feeling overwhelmed and facing your problems, maybe you need to change your approach. So that's what I want you to try this week. I want you to change it. I want you to change the way you think about something, what you're going to say, and what you're gonna do. Consider this the start of something new. Let's see what happens. It's gonna require some work, but I really think that you can do it if you are committed and you are intentional and you make these things a priority. You can see some improvement. Hopefully you found this video helpful. If you would like to hear more, make sure you click the subscribe button. I upload weekly videos. This is life coaching tips and strategies for everyday living.